If you're thinking about moving and you want to learn about what everyday life is going to be like in your new town, this is the place for you. On Open House, we sit down with local, top producing real estate agents to help you find the best places to live in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So if you don't want buyer's remorse and you want to find your dream town, we are here for you. So go ahead and book a free call with us and we'll help guide you to the area that is right for you. Now, let's jump in and learn about your new home.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Open House. My name is Zach, and today we're going to be talking with Jenn Kinchen, who is a local resident and expert in Northern Virginia. Specifically, we're going to be talking about Vienna. We're going to be talking about everything from homes to entertainment. I really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm curious about your career in real estate because we were talking a bit before we started recording. So tell me a little bit about your career in real estate so far.
I'm a local realtor in Northern Virginia, and I'm also a certified residential appraiser. I was born and raised in Northern Virginia and know the area really well.
So cool. What's one of your favorite things about living in and around Vienna?
It's a great area. The area has so many events and cultural activities. It really is kind of a central area, so great opportunities for employment and just everything that you might imagine that you'd want, including food, anything.
Okay. How big is it? Because it doesn't look like a super large area. What's the population?
The population is 16,500. It kind of does have like a smaller town feel with a community vibe to it. In the downtown area, it's small, but there are a lot of events, and it's also very centrally located. So you're close by to Tyson's, which provides a lot of great opportunities.
Okay. And is Vienna mostly suburban, but then with a little bit of urban feel in the downtown area?
So Vienna is considered a town, and it is a suburb of DC in Fairfax County, and it's close by to Tyson's, which has a more urban feel.
Okay, gotcha. So that kind of brings me to houses then. I'm curious, I would assume since it's more suburban, you have a majority of the homes being single family. What's the median home price?
So the median home price, if you wanted a single family detached home, would start in the 700s all the way up to maybe 3 million to 4 million. So it is predominantly going to be single family detached style homes, but there are also condos that are conveniently located, many of them near the Vienna metro station, where you can walk over to the metro.
Okay, so tell me about the metro station. Is that leading into DC, or how does that work?
Yes, so Vienna has its own metro stop on the Orange Line that connects it to the entire metropolitan area, including DC, all the way out to all the Virginia suburbs and also to Maryland.
Okay, how far of a commute is that typically for most people?
The average commute for people in Vienna is approximately a half an hour. That may include people driving as well as taking metro.
Okay, that's not bad. A lot of times with bigger cities, if you're 30 minutes out, it's still pretty urban. With Vienna being a suburban area, that's pretty cool. I know government jobs are big in the area. What are some other things that people are doing for work in Vienna, especially with that median home price being so high?
Right in Vienna, you have Navy Federal Credit Union that has over 2,500 employees, and there are a lot of government and military that live in this general area as well. And then because of Vienna's proximity to Tyson's Corner, there are many top Fortune 500 companies located right nearby within a couple of minutes.
I'm curious. I mean, the Fortune 500 companies and the government jobs and the military and stuff like that, that's all really good to know. And I know that people that do things like that typically have kids in the home. So when it comes to schools, What are the options as far as public schools, and do you have any other types of schools within and around Vienna?
Yeah, so the area is great for schools as well. It has really highly ranked public schools. You have one of the top school pyramids, which is Vienna Elementary School, Thoreau Middle School, and Madison High School.
Okay.
And then within 25 minutes is one of the most highly ranked public high schools in the country. You have Thomas Jefferson High School for Sciences and Technology. That's a magnet school. It's been rated 10 out of 10 by great schools.
I've heard about the magnet program quite a bit. So, and I think I've heard of Thomas Jefferson before. Where is that located?
That's in Alexandria, Virginia.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay.
In addition to that, there are a lot of great school options, both public and private. There are some independent schools. There are private prep schools. As far as higher education, you have Washington Business School and George Mason University is close by, as well as Northern Virginia Community College.
Gotcha. So a lot of education at your fingertips, which is good to know. I'm curious, what else is it about Vienna that brings families? What do they like to do? What's the draw?
It's a beautiful place to live. There are tons of activities and restaurants and all kinds of cuisine. As far as entertainment, you have that small town kind of quaint feel in the downtown area, but you also are really connected and close by to all the events and offerings. In addition to that, Vienna is actually the home to the only United States National Park for the Performing Arts. That's located in Vienna, and it's a highlight of the area. So for over 50 years, performers nationally come to this venue, and it's everything from theater to pop rock, classical, jazz, National Symphony Orchestra. They have their own opera company. They have events both at the outdoor venue during the summer, and then they bring the arts indoors from October to May. They have the Barns at Wolf Trap for chamber music and other genres.
That's cool. So it seems like there's a pretty big emphasis on art. And I know that a lot of historical towns, they focus on art. So is there a special piece of history that is Vienna's piece of history? And if so, what is it?
Yep, the town of Vienna has a kind of a long and storied history that dates back to the 18th century. So it was originally founded by a Scottish settler who called it Ayr Hill, which is named after his hometown in Scotland. And for the first 100 years, Vienna was actually known as Ayr Hill.
Really? That is really cool. Well, DC, just the DC area in general has a lot of really rich history, which makes sense because it's the capital, but it is really interesting to learn about the individual suburbs. We've covered quite a bit from, what people do for work and what there's to do for families and events and history. I am curious, there are a lot of younger couples that are wanting to move to new places. And I know a lot of people have their sights set on the DC, Virginia area. So maybe for younger or even older couples that, don't have any kids in the home and they want to go out and do something fun with friends or just for a date night, what options do you have in Vienna? And also, what other things would you do outside of it?
I really recommend Wolf Trap because that's a great place that you can have a picnic on the lawn and sit there with your special someone and listen to music while having food. In addition to Wolf Trap, there's also Jam and Java, which is a unique little venue that's kind of tucked away in a strip mall, but it has all kinds of local bands and some larger musicians where you get a great up-close view of the stage and the performers, and you can go there to check out some artists. And then as far as food options, there is an award-winning brew pub with craft beers and coffees right off the W&OD trail. So that's a great offering. And you have Vienna Inn on Maple Avenue, which is kind of a landmark Vienna tradition since 1960s. It has a mom and pop and a dive bar kind of feel to it.
That's really cool. So those are a lot of really interesting options. What would you say if someone's looking to live in Vienna, obviously there's a lot of things to do all over the place. What would you say the overall feel is just in your home in Vienna, living in one of the neighborhoods?
I would say it has a great mix of feeling like you have a private sanctuary where you can have a home on a quiet residential street that may back to woods, and in an eclectic neighborhood with all kinds of homes of different styles, but you're still very close by to everything you might want and to do or see in the area.
That's pretty convincing for me, at least, because that sounds like exactly what I want. So, well, cool. Jenn, thanks for taking the time to come on the show today and share everything you know about Vienna. I learned something new, and I think our viewers did too.
Thank you.